The Acura MDX and Infiniti QX60 are both very important to their respective brands. The MDX is the best-selling Acura and the best-selling three-row luxury crossover. The QX60 though is gaining ground and actually beat the MDX in sales for June 2016, though it still trails the MDX year to date. So as you can see, the two are quite competitive. For this comparison, we'll be looking at all the important aspects of the vehicle and awarding points along the way. It will be mostly objective, though some points will be awarded based on my first-hand experiences with the vehicle. Let's get to it then. First, let's establish the equipment levels and prices we are dealing with. The MDX starts out at $43,950, however the model we have here is loaded to the gills. Our MDX has the Advance package, which requires the Technology Package, and we have super handling all-wheel drive as well. The only option our MDX is missing is the Theater package. The total price with destination is $57,340. The QX60 starts at $42,600, but the model we have is similarly loaded up. We have the Premium, Premium Plus, Deluxe Technology, and Theater packages. Adding in the pearl paint, splash guards, all-wheel drive, and the delivery fee brings it to an as-tested price of $59,560. If you were to opt out of the $1,850 Theater package like the MDX did, the prices would only be $370 apart. Now that we have established how close these two are on pricing, let's check out the vehicles themselves and see who offers the most bang for the buck. When shopping for a luxury car, even the smallest of details count, so we will do our best to compare even the little things. One of those often forgotten items is the key fob. The MDX's key fob is very nice and high quality, and has a real luxurious heft to it. The QX60 on the other hand has a small and light key fob, which is unfortunately shared with Nissan. Point Acura. Both models do, of course, have smart entry and remote start. Let's pop the hood and check out the mechanics. Under the hood, the MDX and QX60 are quite similar. Both are powered by 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6s. The MDX is rated at 290 horsepower and the QX60 is rated at 265 horsepower. The transmissions do not share the same similarities. The MDX is one of the very few vehicles offered with a 9-speed automatic. In addition to class-leading ratios, it is controlled by this futuristic but still intuitive shifter, and you get standard paddle shifters. On the QX60 you get a continuously variable transmission, which means it does not actually shift gears. You can manually shift through simulated gear changes, though it does not have paddle shifters. In the end, many people do not like the feeling or noise of having no gear shifts, so I will give the point to the Acura on this one. Both of these crossovers are efficient for the class. As equipped, the MDX Advance comes with a start-stop system and gets an EPA estimated 19 city, 26 highway, 22 combined. The Infiniti matches its rival here with an identical EPA rating. Now that we have performance data out of the way, let's check out the exterior design and features these two offer. Before we get into the nitty-gritty details, let's first take a look at the exterior styling in general. Both these models have recently gone through mid-cycle refreshes, and now wear the latest and greatest styling from their brands. The biggest focus of these updates were on the front design. The MDX wears an all-new grille for Acura, one they are calling a diamond pentagon. The older style shield grille that this replaces was often criticized for being, well, ugly. I don't think this new grille is going to do much to reverse that attitude, though for the record I think it looks much better in person and is an improvement over the outgoing model. The QX60 updated its grille to better match with other Infinitis. The general shape is the same, but it now has a more aggressive black mesh center. The bi-xenon HID headlights also have a new design and premium-looking LED daytime running lights. The MDX has the latest version of Acura's Jewel Eye LED headlights, and it too has been updated with fancy LED daytime running lights. Both models have LED fog lamps. Overall, I give the front styling point to the QX60 because to my eye the styling is more aggressive but still less offensive. In the rear, the two aren't that far apart actually. They both have LED tail lights that are connected by a chrome strip across the back and rear spoilers. The thing that makes the Acura's rear more attractive to me is the new for 2017 dual exhaust outlets. Hidden exhaust outlets are a big pet peeve to me, and Acura has finally taken action to correct the wrong. Now let's start comparing features. Both the MDX and QX60 have 360-degree camera systems, one called Surround View and the other called Around View. They both have identical 38.7-foot turning diameters, 12.6-inch front brakes, and 20-inch wheels in their top-of-the-line configurations. The mirrors are heated, power folding, and auto dimming. They also have LED puddle lamps and integrated LED turn signal indicators as well. As far as warranties go, the two are ever so slightly different. They both get 6-year 70,000-mile powertrain warranties, but the MDX gets a 4-year 50,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, and the QX60 gets a 4-year 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. So the Infiniti barely squeaks a point on this one. Safety is an important factor, especially in family vehicles like these are. And on this they are once again neck and neck. Both the MDX and QX60 get the best rating of good on all the safety tests by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. They both also offer a large amount of active safety features like automatic frontal collision braking and lane keep assist. However, the MDX will get the point simply because they are standard equipment on all models, whereas you have to get the top-of-the-line QX60 to get all the systems. At this point it's somewhat predictable. Both the MDX and QX60 have 19.5-gallon fuel tanks, and since they have the same fuel economy, they also have the same 429-mile fuel ranges. That pretty much covers the exterior design and features. So let's go ahead and hop inside and see if there is more to separate them there. Both the MDX and QX60 come standard with pretty nice interiors, but when you opt for the top-of-the-line versions you get several extra niceties. Our MDX has the new ebony Milano leather interior with authentic black limbo wood trim, which is exclusive to the Advance model. The color contrast seat stitching and piping are also only on the Advance. On the QX60 with the Deluxe Technology Package, you add real maple wood accents, though the leather is not a more premium hide. You do also get a unique stitching pattern on the seat, however. In the end though, I will give the point to the Acura because the Milano leather is nicer. The MDX's seats are 10-way power adjusting with power lumbar support, and the QX60s are 8-way power adjusting with power lumbar support. Both models get 2-person memory seats. Both the MDX and QX60 will have push-button ignition. The MDX has 2 screens, one that is 8 inches and the other is 7 inches. The QX60 only has one 8-inch screen, though that's not really a negative, as I'll explain later. Overall, both models have interiors that are quite nice. On the QX60, the top portion of the dash is finished in a black leather with color contrast stitching. The lower part is made of high-quality soft-touch plastic with more maple and aluminum accenting. Fit and finish is also great, and you have more soft leather down here where your knees touch. On the MDX, you have soft-touch plastic across the entire dash area, and open-pore wood with real metal accents below. Fit and finish is exceptional, though you don't get leather where your knees touch. On the door trim you have the same story. While both are nice, the Infiniti uses more leather and stitching, so it comes across as more luxurious than the Acura. Overall, the material quality point goes to the Infiniti. Both models offer a moonroof as standard equipment across the board. However, the Infiniti gives you a panoramic moonroof at this price point, whereas the Acura can only be equipped with a single panel moonroof. The point goes to the Infiniti because it gives the cabin a more spacious feeling. Both audio systems in the two cars sound good, but the Infiniti has the advantage since it has significantly more speakers. It has a 15-speaker Bose cabin surround system with digital 5.1 decoding and a subwoofer. The Acura, on the other hand, only has 10 speakers for its ELS Studio sound system. And now that brings us to the infotainment systems. Now I'll go ahead and tell you that neither of these systems are very good. The Acura system, called Acura Link, is very unique in its operation. The bottom screen is a touchscreen, but the top screen cannot be touched and is controlled through this knob. On the surface this seems like a good idea since it frees up the dash from so many buttons, but in reality the ergonomics are just not there yet. It often feels like the two screens do not communicate with each other, almost as if they are on two totally different systems. The top screen is where the navigation and settings primarily reside, and the bottom screen is mostly used for audio and climate, but this isn't always the case. For example, to set a destination into the navigation system, you would have to use the top screen to get started, then bounce to the bottom screen to input, and then back up to the top screen again to advance the menu. Finally, the system UI is quite ugly, and the performance is very bad. I found that this system is not only slower than the Infiniti, but also its Honda counterparts. The few pros of this system are that you get lots of settings and many ways to do things. Overall, this system needs a rethink. Ironically, Infiniti actually has a better integration of two screens, called Infiniti InTouch, but it's not available on the QX60. Instead, you get this very outdated system called HDD navigation. This system uses one touchscreen that can also be controlled through this knob, though like the Acura, there's not much point since it's mounted right below the screen. The system also doesn't have a home screen, so you navigate sections by clicking the buttons on the side of the controller. The graphics look very outdated, and some features like pairing Bluetooth take more steps than they should. However, the performance of the system is still pretty good, and is definitely better than the Acura. Overall, the point goes to the Infiniti, though it is missing some features like text message support. Now that I'm done with that rant, let's look at the rest of the cabin. Both models get tri-zone automatic climate control. The MDX is adjusted half on the touchscreen and half below it. The QX60s is adjusted through the buttons below, though the information is displayed on the screen. I'm going to give Infiniti a point for this area down here. Infiniti included a generous amount of wood trim, whereas Acura just left it as blank black plastic. The center console is open in two parts. On the Infiniti, the top portion is a small felt line bin. The other part is quite large and includes a few connections. On the Acura, you get a unique sliding mechanism. Inside there are many connections, including two higher voltage charging USBs. The top portion also opens like on the Infiniti. Overall, the Acura's console area is bigger and more versatile. The MDX and QX60 have nice multifunction steering wheels covered in stitched leather. They are both heated and power adjusting as well. Let's check out the rear of the vehicle. Back here you will find a substantial update for the MDX. New for 2017, the Advanced model gets rear captain's chairs, though regular bench seating is available. You have 36.6 inches of rear legroom and 38.3 inches of rear headroom, and the seats do slide forward. On the QX60 you have a decent amount more of rear legroom at 41.7 inches and exactly the same headroom. Both models have nice accommodations back here. You can adjust the climate in the Infiniti from back here. You also have lots of connections, including a household 120 volt outlet. The rear seats are heated as well. On the Acura you have the same deal. The temperature can be adjusted and the seats have 3-stage heating. They both have very easy third rows to get into. On the Infiniti, all you have to do is pull this lever and the seats will slide out of the way. The Acura works pretty much the same way. Inside you will find 28.1 inches of legroom for the Acura and 30.8 inches for the Infiniti. These cars have two of the most comfortable third row seats in the business, but the Infiniti gets the point for having more rear legroom. The QX60 has a power tailgate standard. Behind the third row you have 15.8 cubic feet of cargo capacity. With the third row folded you have 40.8 cubic feet, and with all the seats folded you have a maximum of 76.5 cubic feet. Compare that to the MDX and you will find that the Infiniti has a noticeably larger cargo area. The MDX has 15 cubic feet behind the third row seats, 38.4 cubic feet behind the second row, and a maximum of 68.4 cubic feet. The rear seats are power folding in the Infiniti as well, so the QX60 will get the point. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. These vehicles are incredibly close to each other, and you certainly can't be faulted for choosing one over the other. At the end of the day, I don't think any of you will be disappointed with either of these very competent vehicles. Thanks for joining us on our first car confections comparison, and be sure to subscribe for more comparison and full review videos. See you next time.